and realize this is a great exercise you can use, boom, in the moment when you're looking around. Oh, I want to talk to that person. I don't know if I get it right. Boom, transfer this responsibility over. You'll feel lighter in that moment. 3 second rule. Within 3 seconds, go and connect to that person. See what synchronicity can pop up. The more we do this, the easier it gets for them to happen. Who here has stopped yourself from trusting in a person or in yourself, and you've witnessed where it stopped you from taking action? You started to hesitate. Anybody ever do that? Yeah. I call this hesitation fatigue. And for me, hesitation fatigue is when I have this judgment consume me, right? It's like paralysis by analysis. Now there's intuition where you just completely surrender. And then there's like the judgment of like, I'm going to analyze and see like, do I want to move to this city because it's in Poland, like Antonio? Why am I going to go there? What's the benefits of it? Or there's like, you know what? I'm just going to say, I allow that whatever's going to happen is meant to be there. I want us to consider that it's not that you have one or the other, but there's a spectrum where you can go through and have possibly even both exist at the same time. That's what has the true potential for choice and expansion of your capacity for expression. And so if you don't have that, this experience can happen for you where I've been out. Tell me if this has been you before. You go out, you want to go enjoy the day. Maybe you go to an event and you want to talk to somebody, but you're like, they're busy. So you don't talk to them. And then you can feel a little bit of tension. And then you walk a little bit further, see someone else that you're curious to talk to, or you're even in a conversation. And then you think to say something, but it's not the right time, or I don't want to interrupt that person. You feel another little layer of tension add on. And these layers add on again and again. And suddenly you're just not really saying what you want to say. Maybe you feel like you're an outsider while you're in the circle of people. If this has ever been you, then say, yeah, that's been me. Me too, in the chat to know if you've ever experienced that, right? I have been there too. This is hesitation fatigue, and it's literally tension in your body that constricts you and makes you feel tired and exhausted. So you go home at the end of the night and you're like, I'm just not a social person. I'm an introvert. I'm just going to stay home. I don't do these kinds of things, right? Bullshit. That's what I call. Really, your ability to horizontally expand the interaction is impeded by your limit in the vertical axis. You haven't been able to enjoy the vibing, just letting yourself flow into moments where synchronicities happen because you just say, oh, I got this idea to say something. And then you express it and it opens up a new conversation. That person says, oh, great point. Actually, that reminds me of, and now a new conversation opens. Another person hears it, they join in, and so many possibilities start to arrive. If you've seen this and experienced that, say like synchronicity, that you've experienced these kinds of moments, right? And so I want to, if you don't do any of this, if you don't trust, if you don't, let me rephrase this. If you are a perfectionist, if you try to control by force, if you focus on the negative, like this is essentially a recipe for being in the maze, for allowing yourself to be stuck in like, I don't know where to go, right? And that's not what we're up to, right? Today we're talking about intuition as a way to get into synchronicities in every moment, right? So this means that we're seeing many miracles around us everywhere we go. And I want to talk about that, right? So I want to give an example of my stories of things I've done. And Matt, I want to bring you up, Matt. Matt was out with me yesterday. And Matt, would you share with us just in a minute, 90 seconds, like what was your experience yesterday as we went out to the park and we were enjoying each other and exercising, kind of like just saying yes to the ideas that we have and meeting people, going through the time?
Sure. Yeah, it was a super fun experience. Kind of walked to a local park near us where there's a lot of cool people doing cool stuff. And the I mean, we had at least four really engaging interactions where the people we met felt better having had that interaction. Um, it was really amazing to watch or to participate with Kegan as he painted a picture through what he's talking about, through intuition and through flow, where nobody felt like they had to give up anything, or it didn't seem like Kegan wanted anything other than to express his own joy. And the one woman in particular, we just randomly walked across, walked towards. Well, it's probably not random, but literally thanked us, saying this was the highlight of my day. And we probably spent an hour talking, hanging out with her and her dog, doing a meditation, someone we didn't even know. And I mean, if you have any questions to prompt, but it was just an amazing experience. And there was four of those in the space of 2 hours. And in my own logical looping mind, it would take me a month to accumulate four of those kinds of occurrences, and we did it in 2 hours. It was just really a joy to participate in, with no real angle other than, hey, let's paint whatever picture we want here and offer it, rather than need to create something or take something of value.
Yeah, thank you for that, Matt. I really appreciate you sharing that. That's what I wanted to accent on and highlight, uh, was the idea that these moments can happen again and again very quickly. And I want to take us through, how can you make these moments happen more in your life where you're enjoying these synchronicities? So I want to share with you, because, for example, I had traveled Europe for 7 months. And during a 77-day period, I was hiking from one town to the next, 20 to 35 kilometers every single day. And out of 77 days, 52 of them, I met a stranger and they let me stay in their house. From talking to somebody at a cafe, at a dance class, at a bar, just enjoying, like, you know what, I feel this inspiration to talk to this person. Parla italiano. I'm going to practice my Italian, right? And they would be like, who are you? What are you doing? Like, fascinating. You can stay with us for the night, right? And it just goes to show that I just kept embracing these ideas. And so the process I'm going to share with you, we're going to go through a meditation together right now, a visualization rather. This all can come from this book, Celestine Prophecy. If you know this book, give your experience of that in the group chat. Okay, we're gonna go through like a little map right now at exercises, and then we're gonna put you in a group for you to work together. So step one, when it comes to opening up your ability to access synchronicities, to flow in your life, let's see if I can share this screen with you guys. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I gotta change the slide focus. Here we go. Can you guys see that? Can you see? Yes? Okay, great. So what I want you guys to be aware of is, when it comes to setting your intention, that is the first step, and really being clear. So like right now in this moment, okay, you can stop, take a second and say, my intention for this call right now is to be completely open to synchronicities, to know that each person I'm talking to and I'm going to be in a group with is exactly who I'm meant to be there for. And we're going to have information to pass to each other as wisdom. If you set that intention, then you're already light years ahead of others in guiding yourself towards what you want. So the next step is going to be connecting to a state of love. So everybody, I want you to do is put your feet flat on the ground, hands, palms to the sky on your knees. And I'm going to have you close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and remember a moment when you did something loving for somebody in your life. A moment when you did something loving for somebody else in your life. Maybe it was just have a phone call and hear their story. Maybe it was to buy them a coffee or some lunch. Maybe it was a hug. But you did something loving. Feel what that's like in your body to remember that moment. Perhaps you got a warmth in your chest, maybe tingles or a vibration. And as you hold on to that feeling, I want you to now think of somebody or an animal that you know completely loves you. And you have that person or that animal in mind, say out loud to yourself, yes. You know they completely love you. And as you have that person in mind, feel them loving you, see them across from you, looking at you with those loving eyes. And with that, I want you to imagine this person that loves you completely. Imagine them accepting you in all your parts. They accept all those parts of you, even that weird part, even that embarrassing part of you, all of you. And not only do they accept you, feel what it's like if they forgive you for everything you've done in your life. Even that. Yeah, that too. What would it feel like if this person that completely loves you just forgives you for everything and accepts every part of you? How would that feel in your body? Wow. Breathe that in for a change. Now, on the count of 3, I want you to double that feeling of love as you let go of the visuals and all that, but focus on the sensation. Deep breath in, 3, 2, 1. Poof, double that feeling in your body. That's it right there. Amazing. You're doing wonderful here. And now to capture this feeling for your future, I want you to reach up with your finger as if there's a light switch on your forehead that you're in between your eyebrows, and flip the switch to on and say to yourself, activate. Activate. Now you connect that love. So anytime in the future that you want to access this feeling of love, you just reach out, flip that switch and say activate. Yeah, let that feeling flow through you. Feels good, right? That's it. And now see a white screen, let it go. And there you go. And now test it. Flip the switch again. Boop, activate. Whoa. Feel that feeling of love flow through you even stronger every time you flip the switch. That's divine love. And now, if you're willing to bring that feeling with you, then you can open your eyes coming back into this room right now. Amazing. If you're enjoying this, then share some love in the chat. As we go on to step 3 to call synchronicities into your life, to access flow, is to ask yourself very direct questions, right? That's what's going to guide you towards your life. You want to be very clear, right? Like, what can I do today to celebrate my son for his 15th birthday, as Mr. Alex would say, right? What can I do to most truly make him feel like he is loved unconditionally? How can I support this movement of men of means most powerfully in the next week or today? Like, ask a very clear question for the day, and some questions might be for the larger whole, for your bigger mission. Some questions might be very specific, but you want to have those because what you're going to notice is everybody around you, which is the next step, is an answer to those questions you've asked. That means when you walk into a building or the gym and someone else walks in at the same time, they're an answer to that question. There's some kind of synchronicity of all the places and all the people in the world, we walked in at the same time. So if that other person is next to you, why not embrace them, right? And say hello to them. It's scary, right? So you might be wondering, like, how do I say hi to these people if I have my own agenda and mission? Something as simple as, hey, you know, I'm learning about synchronicity, and I imagine we walked in here at the same time. Perhaps we've got some information for each other, some wisdom to share. If this is making sense to you, then say yes in the chat. So I use that as my way to start the conversation. Like, hey, I'm hearing a voice inside me say that we should talk. So I want to meet you. What are you thinking about right now? What are you focused on right now? For me, I'm thinking about men of means in this group. Oh, great. Okay. Well, that might create a potential for a client, maybe for a romantic connection, perhaps for a friendship, maybe nothing. And they just give you a no thanks. All you got to do is just no worries, man. Have a beautiful day. Send them love and gratitude and keep walking, right? Just know that every person who gives you a glance across the cafe, or maybe it's a TV you walk by that has a specific message for that moment you hear. These lessons and wisdoms could be popping up all over the place. So pay attention to those signs and really embrace and engage those signs. The more we do, the easier it is that they'll flow to you. So if you're hesitating and if you're doubting, I want to give you guys a tool, one more tool before we go into a breakout room, for how to stop yourself from hesitation, fatigue, to embrace these signs. Would you guys like one of those? Yes? Okay. The responsibility, the outcome, that's the thing that's stopping us. So I want us to think about, if I try to make this happen, it gets heavy, right? It gets hard. So try this out. Close your eyes right now and consider a moment, context in your life that you can feel some anxiety around making it happen. Consider, like, maybe it's to make a sales call, maybe it's to have a conversation with your partner. It seems like it's difficult. Maybe it's to do something for school. Maybe it's to talk to an employee or a coworker. Notice that moment where you're feeling some tension or anxiety around making that moment happen. Pay attention to that anxiety in your body, the sensation of it, okay? As you do, take a breath in and let the tension wash away from your body. And I want you to imagine whether it's a higher power, you call it God, the creator, the universe, whatever you relate to, imagine that is like an entity in front of you. And as this entity is there for your higher power, feel that tension in your body like it's a weight on your shoulders about having to make the outcome a certain way. Now, literally, say, I give this to you, higher power. And physiologically feel that transfer of weight from your shoulders over to their shoulders. Breathe in deeply. And notice how much lighter you can feel in this moment. Feels good, right? And notice you can do that anytime. You're going to open your eyes, come back here, and realize this is a great exercise you can use, boom, in the moment when you're looking around. Oh, I want to talk to that person. I don't know if I'll get it right. Boom, transfer this responsibility over. You'll feel lighter in that moment. 3-second rule. Within 3 seconds, go and connect to that person. See what synchronicity can pop up. The more we do this, the easier it gets for them to happen. So I want to give us space to make these synchronicities happen in our life and get into a room for us all together. So we've got 11 minutes left. Let's see if I've got this room. Let's see here. Yeah. So Bill knows this concept well. I love Bill. We met out in Austin at an event. And this is called an algorithm. You're going to write an algorithm for how do you stop yourself from going forwards towards a synchronicity. What's your fear pattern? What's your kryptonite to creating connection? So you're going to write an if-then statement, right? So if then, right? If I am afraid to connect to somebody, then I will use this passive burden exercise to get into connection. If I want to express love to my family, then I will schedule sending a love voice note to my son every Thursday, right? If I want to make a sales call, but I'm scared, then I'm going to call my sales coach, Alex Portugal, on the call, whoop, whoop, and get some encouragement. So notice what's your hesitation, like the if I want to do this, or if I'm If I want to take this positive action, or you can phrase it as, if I'm feeling fear, then this is the action that I'm going to take. If you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up with some love shower. There you go. Yeah. Amazing. Drop your algorithm into the chat box so we can all be inspired by each other and what we're up to. We covered a lot of ground today, brothers. Thank you so much for your presence and your focus. I know you could be doing a lot of things on a Saturday morning. You're choosing to be here. I honor that. I freaking celebrate that you're choosing to put your time here right now with us. And I feel so grateful for that. I pray that you can each take all of this wisdom into your life and apply it with ferocity, with embodiment, right? Really allow this through. Right? Pass that burden off of its outcome to your higher power so that you can have ease and grace in your taking place in your life. And you connect to this state of love to release you from the fear and the logic and stopping the judgment so that you can access the synchronicities again and again and again.